Hey guys, how's it going? It's A-Train335 here, and our topic today is my NFL regular season, Week 3 predictions, Part 1 probably. First we have New England and Buffalo. New England with Tom Brady and Wes Welker, um, and Buffalo with C.J. Spiller, a great running back out of Clemson. Um, I think my prediction's gonna be let's say thir- yeah yeah 35-28. I'm thinking these off the top of my head. Like I said, so they might not be as good, but I was I was doing pretty good. I mean, I got New Orleans and Chicago right. And like I can't think of all these off the top of my head. Okay, moving on to San Francisco and Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think they still have Carson Palmer. And San Francisco with Michael Crabtree, a great wide receiver out of Texas Tech. I think San Francisco is gonna win this one. Let's say 28 to 14. I mean, because I think San Francisco won their first game. I'm not sure about their second. Yeah, 28-14. Moving on to Miami and Cleveland. Cleveland with Colt McCoy and Peyton Hillis. And the only reason, no offense to you Peyton Hillis fans, but the only reason I've recognized Peyton Hillis, and this is kind of weird, is because of the Madden 12 cover. I had never even heard of him before that. But yeah. So Colt McCoy and Peyton Hillis. McCoy QB, obviously. Hillis running back. With Miami with Brandon Marshall and Chad Henne. Hopefully, like in the next few years, they'll probably have some really good chemistry between themselves or between each other. I think Miami's gonna win this one. 24-14. Moving on to Denver and Tennessee. Tennessee with Chris Johnson. Denver with Kyle Orton and Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, great quarterback out of Florida. Won a national championship. I'm not sure if it was two. Was it? Please tell me in the comments. I would really appreciate that. But yeah. So and Tennessee lost Vince Young. I'm not sure who they got to replace him. Well, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I just heard that they might lose Vince Young. I think let's well Tennessee lost in week 2, but I'm not sure about Denver. I'm just gonna say Tennessee 17, Denver 10. Moving on to Detroit and Minnesota. Detroit with Ndamukong Suh, who's an absolute beast. I've seen on some NFL shows. I'm not sure what it was. Might have been NFL 32. I don't know. That Suh's a dirty player, but I don't think that he is. He had this problem at Nebraska too, but I just think that he has so much strength, power, and acceleration that when he's going after the quarterback, he just can't stop, and then he just gets unnecessary roughness. And sometimes when he sacks someone, he just has all that strength and power that I don't know, refs want to call unnecessary roughness. I'm not really explaining this good, but yeah, Detroit with Van and Bosch. Now they have Nick Fairley too, and Sue. Of course, Minnesota with Donovan McNabb. They traded Tavares Jackson and Sidney Rice. A big wide receiver loss there. But I think Detroit's gonna. Oh yeah, and Minnesota with Adrian Peterson. And Detroit with. Oh my gosh. Javad Best. That's his name. Man, I mean, I just can't think of names right now. Okay, I think Detroit's gonna win this one 35-24. I mean, because they dominated Kansas City. Sorry for you Chiefs fans. But 48-3 in week 1. They're 2-0. I think they're going to be a playoff team. And they might even go to the conference championship. But the Packers and Bears always stand in their way. But moving on to Houston and New Orleans. New Orleans with Drew Brees. They did lose Reggie Bush to Miami, but they got Darren Sproles, a great running back whose former team was the San Diego Chargers. But and they got Mark Ingram in the draft. Marcus Colston at wide receiver. Houston with Matt Schaub, another great quarterback. Adrian Foster, running back. Andre Johnson, wide receiver. Really great combination. Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson. Andre's made a lot of spectacular catches. He's been a really great wide receiver for them, but I'm going with New Orleans this time too. I mean, because they won last week, and of course they lost to the Packers, but they're defending Super Bowl champs, and the Saints were 2 years ago. But yeah, I think that was just a slip up a little. But yeah, New Orleans. Let's see. 24-17. Moving on to the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. I heard Vic was injured, and so is Tony Romo, but they're both probably gonna play this week or start this week. Philadelphia coming off that loss to Atlanta just because Vic was out. I think that really hurt him. And New York losing Prince Amukamara, like I talked about in my last video. I'm not going to go on and on about that. With Eli Manning and Mario Manningham, and Ahmad Bradshaw. And Philadelphia with LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson. I think if Vic is healthy, only if Vic is healthy, they're going to win this one 30-27. No, 30-24. Okay, moving on to Jacksonville and Carolina. Carolina with the number 1 draft pick, Cam Newton, out of Auburn. He's had 2 good games for a rookie quarterback who's a starter. And with Steve Smith, a wide receiver. Jacksonville with David Garrard and Maurice Jones-Drew, one of my favorite running backs in the NFL. But I think, I don't know. If Cam Newton plays, if Cam Newton plays good, like 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1 rushing touchdown, they're probably going to win it. But I'm not saying Cam Newton's going to play bad, but I think Jacksonville is going to win this one. 27-24. Moving on to the New York Jets and Oakland. Oakland with Jamarcus Russell and Terrell Pryor out of Ohio State. I'm not sure if the NFL reviewed his suspension thing yet, if he can actually play or something. But yeah, Jamarcus Russell, Terrell Pryor, and this McFadden guy. I'm not sure if he's like a running back or something, or a cornerback. Please tell me in the comments. I would really appreciate that. But New York with Mark Sanchez and Santonio Holmes, and LaDainian Tomlinson. Yeah, so I think New York's gonna win this one. Let's say 28-24. Moving on to Baltimore and St. Louis. St. Louis with Sam Bradford. I'm not sure if he's recovered from his finger injury yet, but that'll definitely affect him if he hasn't. But they do have Stephen Jackson, which kind of makes up for it. But Baltimore with Joe Flacco, Ray Lewis, and Ray Rice. Joe Flacco, second in the league in getting sacked the most times, 44 times, but Jay Cutler had like 60 some. Sorry for you Bears fans or Joe Flacco fans or Jay Cutler fans. I think Baltimore is gonna win this one. If Sam, nah, he's probably gonna play. I don't know. It's just a finger. Baltimore 35, St. Louis 24. Moving on to Kansas City and San Diego. Kansas City losing Jamal Charles, I think. I think he's injured. That's probably why they're 0-2. Yeah, but they do still have Matt Castle, I think. Yeah, so but I don't know what Jamal's backup is, or who Jamal's backup is. Sorry, yes. But San Diego with Phillip Rivers, they lost LaDainian Tomlinson and Darren Sproles, but they did get Antonio Gates back from injury, I think. I think San Diego's gonna win this one. Let's say 27-17. Let's see if I have time for one more. I might have time for one more. I don't know. I just gotta go through this quick. The key game of the week: Green Bay and Chicago. Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, Charles Woodson, and Donald Driver. The Bears with Jay Cutler, Matt Forte, and Greg Olsen. Sorry I sound like rushed right now, but yeah. So two great offenses and defenses, and coaches. But I think Green Bay is gonna win this one. Well, since Chicago lost last week to New Orleans and Green Bay beat New Orleans. Sorry for you, New Orleans fans. But I think Green Bay is gonna win this one, 32-17. This is probably gonna be my last game. So this has been Adrian335. Alright, part 1. See you guys.